I'm
nervous.
just looking.
I
Don't be
don't like
nervous.
it. I don't like it.
It's all
Let
love.
me make sure. I don't know. You listen. I know you. You forget that. Hold on one
Okay.
second. I think we're live. Take a look and see.
Uh,
Can everybody see it to share it? Yes, no, maybe so.
I can. I see it.
This was
Mm,
supposed to be open and it is not, and I don't like it. I hate this. Y'all can still share it. It uh I put this as open earlier, but
Oh,
it's
wait.
not.
I think I just used the old one. Wait. I think I just shared the old one. I just seen the first one that popped up. Okay. It's up there.
Okay. Is everybody ready to go? All
yes.
right. So, good evening, everybody. This is your girl, Reagan Adams with Dating Instead, Who Killed It, and the Build a Man Workshop. So, what do? I am a relationship coach, and I also host relationship events. And I also show women how to build their perfect man from the inside out. I know that sounds crazy, but basically, what I do is help women prepare for marriage. One of those things that, or ways that I do that is I let the men talk and not let you talk. I give them a platform. What better way to know to how to be with a man than to hear from a man? One of the two of the things that I wanted to kind of mention is right before I got a divorce, I hired a dating coach. And when I hired a dating coach, I made sure that I hired a man. I had been out of the game as far as dating for an extended period of time. And I know I'm a relationship person, but things had changed. The internet had come into play, online dating, all the things. And I felt like I needed to hire a dating coach to kind of show me how to navigate the dating streets. What that did was made me look at the overall dating and marriage. And what I saw was a lot of us as Black people were not taught how to date or be married. That also went into therapy. So I do none of my events, none of my podcasts without a therapist. This comes, with how we were raised, not just relationships as a whole. So I like to get to the root of the problem and then work our way up. And so the main reason I have men as like the face right now of Dating is Dead is because I had a dream a while ago. And one of the things that God has shown me was a room full of Black men of all walks of life. And they were in a bedroom, like closed off and hurting, but nobody was there to listen. Nobody seemed like they cared. They were crying. And I was like, God, what is this? And he was saying that Black men are not heard, they're not paid attention to, they're misunderstood, and he is wanting to put them back into their rightful place. But the problem with that is women, and I don't want to apologize for it, but it is what it is because I coach women and I am a woman too. We lack accountability in a lot of instances when it comes to relationships, and we don't listen that well. It's mostly, happy wife, happy life, when it should be happy spouse, happy house. And I believe if we continue to pour into one another and take our eyes off of ourselves, then we'll have better relationships. And I believe we want to start with the head of the house, which is the man. And if y'all don't subscribe to that, go on and cut your camera off because that's where I'm at with it. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. I just wanted to lay a foundation for you guys tonight. Welcome, fellas. You guys can go ahead and introduce yourself one by one, but I'm actually going to start with Rex because he is our therapist. And again, I always start with therapy because I believe that is the foundation of relationships. So welcome.
Absolutely. Reagan, thank you for allowing me to be on this call in. And fellas, I'm happy to be sharing this space with y'all. I'm Rex Howard Jr., based out of Houston, Texas. I'm from Knoxville, Tennessee. I'm a husband. I'm a relationship and intimacy therapist. I specialize in trauma, sex therapy, and emotional intelligence in men. I'm also a podcaster of, co-host of a podcast called Let's Talk Like Men Podcast, and we're on all platforms: Apple Music, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, etc. And I'm just here to provide as much value as possible to allow God to use me in this
All
space.
right, welcome.
And I'm excited.
Uh-oh. All right. I'm sorry. My thing went out. I didn't mean to interrupt. I'm sorry. All right. Who's next?
Nobody wants to jump out. I guess I'll go first. My name is Maurice Johnson. I am 44 years old, single, born and raised in Dallas, Texas. I have one adult son who just turned 21, who's a college football player. Been divorced for 6 years now. Well, 5 years now. I'm just here to be able to open up, share with my brothers, gain some new brotherhood, and just try to find my person. So my inbox is open, ladies.
All right.
Anybody who wants to talk, I'm open to talk. Love to communicate. If you love sports, let's do something.
All right. Thank you. Who's next?
I'll go next. My name is Sidney Klingscales. I'm 55. I'm originally from Knoxville. Me and Reagan are homeboys, homegirl. Currently reside in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm a business owner, small business owner, run a niche specific carrier business here in Nashville. My inbox is currently not open, ladies. I'm in a relationship, and I think that I kind of bring a different, or maybe an older, sage perspective to the show tonight. So again, I kind of doing something with somebody, take it serious. But again, it's from the last time, or from the very first time that Reagan started doing these podcasts to now. I think I was maybe one of her earlier guests, to see where we've all come from 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, well, however long it's been, for maybe 4 or 5 years, from their perspective. So again, thank you for having me.
Thank you.
All right, I'll go. My name is Kobe. I am an artist. I also had a platform called Singles Therapy where I would pose questions, sort of like what this would do is to create conversation, especially amongst Black men and Black women, to try to figure out some of these things. And of course, I've trolled your page for years now, Reagan, and I've enjoyed a lot of the interactions. I've learned a lot from doing that. I am 47 years old. I am unmarried, but I am in a relationship. And I just look forward to being able to participate in this and kind of share some of the ideas and even learn from what we all have to offer.
All right. What's up?
I'll go. My name is Jermaine Granberry. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I said my name is Jermaine Granberry. Was married for 7 years, divorced now for 11 years, 2 daughters. Been a preacher for 22 years, marital counselor for 12 years, Christian life coach for about 5 years.
All right.
All right, and I guess they'll
Thank
leave me.
you.
They'll leave me for
Yes.
last.
That's the last.
I know, right? I guess so. Good evening, everybody. My name is Andre Mask. I reside here in Houston, Texas, straight out of Harlem, Clark, Texas. So I always gotta, every time that I come up on anything, I always gotta rep where I'm from. I always talk about the elementary, middle school, and high school I went to, just to know where let you guys know where I'm from. Peterson, Darling, Madison. So that's the schools that I went to. I pretty much check every box that's out there. I consider myself, and I told Reagan this one time before, where I'm the Black Dr. Phil. I've coached men, I've counseled men, I've been on counseling chairs before, I've been married, I've been divorced, I could check every box. I've talked to, all different types of people and individuals in all types of walks of life. And I think this is an excellent platform for us to share and give insight and spit that ism tonight. So I appreciate everybody being on the panel.
Well, we got a good panel. I'm excited about it. Also, I just want to let anybody know watching, if you want to just drop any questions below, and hopefully I'll be able to see them on my stream and we'll get those answered for you. Well, I won't. I'm going to let them in because y'all not here to see me. Y'all are here to see and listen to them, right? All right. So the first question I have is, what is something you think women need to understand about Black men that's important, both in and out of relationships? What do they need to understand about you as a Black man?
Man.
Was something that they need to understand in and out of a relationship.
Well, I'll start.
That we are human.
If can everybody hear me?
Brother.
Can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Sydney. Go ahead.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah. I think that right now I'm looking at my screen and I see 6 Black men, and we are 6 different Black men. We don't all fall to this one monolith that I think is out there. I was reading a post one time, and it was evidently some young girl in her post and pardon the language, and these niggas and these niggas, and I gave these niggas this and these niggas that. Well, for one, baby girl, you picking niggas and not men, and then 2, you grouping everybody together. So I think that's one thing that women on the outside, your past experience has nothing to do with me. Although I might, and 9 times out of 10, because people attract or draw the same type of person, I might be the same type of personality in a different shell. However, accept people or see people for the individual, and then go ahead and begin down the path of the road. But I think that's one thing, because like I said, I looked at this, like I said, we're it's a conglomerate that's on here, but we're not monolith. We got 6 different opinions, 6 different ways about me and I believe it was Maurice before we came on. We talking about sports. He likes a woman who likes the game. I like a woman who's a complete novice. So again, the ladies out there, understand that we're not all the same. We're not cooked from the same cloth.
That's good.
Yes, I definitely agree with that. I can also piggyback off of what both of you guys said, that yes, we are human, but we do have feelings, and for a man to open up and be vulnerable to you, that shows that we trust you. That shows that it takes a lot for us to do that. Because growing up, I'm pretty sure we all heard the same thing. Don't cry. Don't show emotion. We're taught not to do that. So once I showed that to you, just know that that's something special. That means something to me. And once you mess that up, I can't look at you the same after that. Because now for me to trust you took a lot from me. So once you've broken that, it's hard for me to get back to that with you. Because it takes a lot. Because as men, when we're taught as little boys, you're taught everything wrong. You don't find that out till you're an adult. Hey, maybe my uncle was wrong when he told me that. Maybe I was taught that wrong, but now I'm 32. It's too late. Now I have to rethink what I've been taught for the last 32 years, that everything I was shown was wrong. So once we open up, like, we are human, and we want to be vulnerable. We want to be open. But the world makes it like we're supposed to be Thanos, and we're not. That's one of those for me. I'm sorry. I don't want to start rapping.
Along with those 2 things, I would say.
No, don't apologize.
Along with those 2 things, I would say, with the dating is dead. Many women, especially in the marital counseling classes that I've been in, will ask about chivalry, and what many of them miss. I don't know if they were never taught or whatever the case may be. Chivalry is still alive. What many of them don't understand is that it thrives in an economy, and the currency for that economy is respect. So when you remove that currency, now you're saying you're entitled for us to do all these things for you with nothing in return. And that's where men have retracted. I'm not even going to say removed. That's where men have retracted chivalry, because women have snatched respect off the table and they felt entitled to it. And I think for a lot of them, they've deconstructed so many things, dating and everything else, from what granny and great granny used to do, that they forgot to leave the good stuff on the table. And granny and great granny, if they didn't do nothing else, they respected me.
That's good. That's good. I want to. First of all, everybody says some powerful stuff. One thing I would like to add is just to understand the fact that as men, we carry, especially Black men, we carry a different level of weight, right? And with that weight, we take on these responsibilities. But when we look for a person to be our safe space, let's not confuse venting with complaining.
Right.
Because there's things that I'm going to probably only talk to the fellas about, right? But there's also things I want to share with my woman too, specifically financial things, right? So I remember a previous relationship before I met my wife. I was in my master's program. I was a broke college student, working Uber, working at the restaurants, working as a trash man, like really whatever I could do to make ends meet. And I remember having a conversation with my ex just about some financial things. I didn't ask her for any type of help. I'm just kind of sharing some things. And she said to me, don't talk to me about your money problems because it gives me anxiety. I said, okay. Okay. Wow. So you want me to spend, you want me to become this person to create this lifestyle for us, but I can't share with you where I may be struggling or it's just some things I may be concerned about, right? So don't confuse venting with complaining when we choose you to be our safe space. Because if you no longer become our safe space, it's something else.
Right.
Sleeping with the enemy.
Bro, you said something and it triggered something because, like I said, I'm in a relationship now going on for 3.5, 4 years, and you said something about the lady you used to date. Something that I've learned is that women don't care about the process, just the result. They don't care. You can push the boulder up a mountain. You can be Siphius. You can do whatever it is. She does not want to hear about that. Just the result. And just being honest. For your piece. It should come back in a positive result. You know what I mean? Whatever effort that you're pouring into, like I said, they don't give a damn. Only about the end result. And so that's one thing that I think a lot of men that we have to take in consideration. And also that's one of those things that we keep buried inside, because again, that's the venting process. The venting is going through the process because we need that outlet. We need that, that safe place that we're able to talk, and especially with money, because men don't discuss money with other men. We discuss that with our ladies. That's one of those bedroom things, you know what I mean? Where you pillow talk about money. So you said, like I said, that just kind of triggered me, and you're right. In your synopsis, my brother.
Those are good. I would like to add in. Can you hear me? Can I add one thing to it? Okay. I think it'd be helpful if they understood that we're not them. That we're men, not women. What makes us tick isn't necessarily what's going to make them tick, and vice versa. Our desires aren't theirs. What we want them for in friendship or relationship is not the reasons that they want to connect with us. And I think that if they listen to our reasoning, whether they agree with it or not, they can't dictate what our reasons are. Because a lot of times if they disagree, they tell us what we should do, how we should feel about things. And it doesn't change how we actually feel about things.
Okay. Andre, did you want to tag on to that?
Yeah, I just think that it's unrealistic expectations that's being placed on men. And I think somewhere along the relationship between the Black man and the Black woman got fractured. And there's never been a repair that's taken place. And I think that we've been in competition with one another. There used to be a time where men could be men and women could be women, and we understood that. But now the world is so turned upside down that women now today want men to think like women, but still act like men. So it goes to the way that they were brought up. It goes to trauma that they've kind of masked, but they'll never see that they're the problem. So it's always on the man. I wish I can say that we have safe space as men to have those types of conversations about how we feeling. But oftentimes when you do share that with a woman, it's weaponized, meaning that when you get into an argument, all the things that you told her in secret comes out to you and is weaponized against you. So I think as men, you have to find that balance of what you're able to share with your significant other. And again, I'm speaking in generality because I'm not saying that it's your woman or this, and that there's not a woman that you can share information with. I'm speaking in general. In general, it's very difficult to share that information because the things that you're open and vulnerable about often become weaponized and used against you when there's in those intense moments of fellowship. So it's very difficult to be a man because, again, like I said, the relationship fractured and the way that the world currently constructed it's problematic.
I'm sorry. Dang. Let's see. Did everybody say what they needed to say, or did they want to have anything to add to it? Y'all good? Okay. All right. So when I'm just gonna tell a quick story. When I was married, I grew up in a 2-parent household, but what I saw was not just wasn't a good thing. But I always knew I wanted to be married. So one of the things, we had sex before marriage, but when I got married, it's like, I don't want to have sex no more. Like, we did all of that, so before we got married. So when we got to do all this before I got you already. So now, I'm growing and I'm understanding. But we're all over 40 here except Rex, but Rex got an old soul. So Rex, you 40 and up on the inside. Okay. So we're all over. So how important is sex still in a relationship? That's number one. How do you feel about a woman taking initiative in sex or, coming on to you or whatever in your relationship? And how does that affect you emotionally and mentally if we're not showing that, interest or not wanting to have sex? How does that affect you, or does it affect you? Does it not matter anymore?
It absolutely matters. As we get older, it is no longer number
I'll
one
go
on the
ahead and
list.
start because I think I might be the oldest on the panel, 55 years old. Sex is very important. It's the bond. It helps helps maintain the bond. It's one of the maintenance mechanisms that come in a relationship. It's part healing as well. So for me, and personally, I like it when a woman takes an initiative because again, it takes the pressure off of a man. Men are good, bad, right or wrong. We are taught to be the sexual aggressor, and for the most part, that is true. However, when you're in a relationship, at least in my committed relationship, there is an ebb and flow that takes place. That has to take place because again, I'm not gonna come in every day like John Holmes, and she's not gonna come in every day like Jasmine Cashmere. So we just got and
I'm sorry.
Who is it?
No, keep going. Keep going. Keep going.
I got a big reference. So these people from porn.
I had a flashback. Don't do that.
I'm a Google them.
Yeah, you
Don't do it.
No.
Hey, please, you might want to, brother.
Yeah, with a hot libido, but also, like I said, that's one of the things that helps maintain the relationship. It is, to me, it's very big because I'm still good, still good.
Yeah, oftentimes I think.
I would say what I was trying to say was it is always important. As we get older, it is not number one on the list. In our 20s, maybe 30s, it was 1, 2. In our 40s, it might be 2, 3, but it is definitely there. If you think about a car, I would say sex is the oil. It greases the engine. And when you remove the oil from the car, you have friction.
Yes, sir.
Automatically. So when they're removing the oil from the car and then they're wondering why there's so much friction, that's one of the reasons. Then number 2, we love for a woman to initiate. One of the reasons we love for a woman to initiate, as we stated earlier, we're human. We want to be desired too. We don't want to just be your protector, the guy that goes to work for you and brings home the bacon and takes care of the kids and be a good father. We want to know we still look good to you. You still desire us. So you don't have to do it so often, but I can't initiate 100% of the time. We're going to have to find a happy medium somewhere.
Yeah, I also think it's very important because I think from my perspective, it's how we get, it's like the closest that we can get to you. And that's how we want to express ourselves. That's how we show you our love. And I think women are the opposite. They have to get that closeness to have sex, and we feel it after, during sex. But I think if they understood how we feel and how that's our way of expressing our love to them, then they would probably be a little bit more open to understanding what that is.
Yeah.
Say what? Say that again.
We would be more open to give you some more if we understood that's how you guys got close to us, right?
Yeah. That's how we feel close. That's how we feel connected to you. And so when you take that away, that's why we shut down. We lose that connection, and then you just punish us more, and it just keeps recycling. So, but when you initiate it, it does something else to us. Because we get that connection, but we also feel valued and appreciated. We feel wanted. We feel loved, desired, all of that. So, if women understood how we operated in the sexual sphere, then they would never see it as a burden.
And I know the brother said that you can think of sex like a car. I like to use the same type of things. I would think you can think of sex in a way of a fire. If you throw gasoline on the fire, it just explodes. So the more that you give it to us and you initiate, it makes us work harder for you. It's almost like you're saying thank you for what you've done for me. Because when we go out every day, we face so much shit in the world every day to come home. And when you come home and your woman loves on you, when you come home and your woman touches you,
you frozen, brother Maurice.
Tomorrow, I don't care what goes on at work tomorrow because my baby took care of me last night. I'm going to sleep like a baby. I want my thumb in my mouth. I want all that because she going to put me down. And when she do that, I don't care what the boss do tomorrow. I don't care what my workers do tomorrow. I don't care what the kids do tomorrow because she made me feel a certain type of way. Now, don't let it be in the morning before I go to work.
Can y'all hear him? Or is that just me?
I can.
Don't let it be in the morning before I actually go to work. That's a whole different type of story right there. You catch me in the morning, I'm doing flips now. But and that's just a different thing. Like it's actually fuel for us too. Because during the day, we could lose so much that actually happens to us that when we get rejuvenated by that, and I don't want to be too graphic, but y'all know what I mean. Once we release, we good. She's gone.
She'll be back. Yeah, we just.
Yeah, I think
Primo guys.
I think he got
maybe she went to go get a
too.
quickie.
I do as well.
I think it's like 3 more fellas. So if y'all will answer the question, hopefully she'll be back by then. She was having some mic problems.
Yeah, so I'll jump in, man. So you think about it as we get older, what happens, right? Our bodies change. We've got so much stress between work, and then if you got your lady, she's working 10, 12 hours. It goes back to what I said earlier. We're in competition. Now you got to come home. Someone's got to cook. Somebody's clean. If you got kids, you got to think about what you got to do the next day. So all of these things are swirling in not only your head, because men, we can perform at the drop of a dime. It doesn't matter if we got, if a crocodile bit our leg off, you know what I mean? We're still going to be ready to go. But for a woman, our focus as we get older, it has to switch from sex to intimacy. So we got to take a lot of that stuff off their plate to even have their mind switch over to where they're into intimate mindset, right? So, but for a man, we start thinking like, man, I'm not trying to wash the dishes, walk the dog, wash the car, get the clothes out, put the kids to bed. I'm not trying to do all that just for 5 minutes because we start processing things too, and we want to feel desired as well. So the thing that we all have to do is make sure that we're always the best version of ourselves. Because again, we start looking at pictures when we get older and we see, hey man, we done gained like 20, 30 pounds. She done gained 40, 50. And all you do is, you go out and eat all the time. So you're not the best version of yourself to find one another attractive. By nature, the frequency is going to decrease. But I always say this, right? Quality over frequency. In terms of if you have those quality and intimate moments and you get out of sex and you think about intimacy, it's going to pick back up. You got to take some of the pressure that's off of women because their mindsets are different. So if she's working a job and she's got to come home and cook, and then she's got to put the kids down, and then she's got to thinking about how much time that she has to get ready for the next day, it's not going to happen because that's not what she's thinking about. She's exhausted, and they operate completely different from us. So we can do that, but they don't have the ability to. So as long as we can kind of understand that we can't think about it from a sexual perspective, we have to look at it as an intimacy perspective, run her bath water. And I know we're going to say we have to cater to them to do it. But again, that's the thing that we have to do in order to make sure that we keep it alive and keep that fire going. Because again, they're going to be hypersensitive to their bodies. They're going to be hypersensitive to everything they have to do. And as a man, if we say that we're going to take the lead, we have to do a better job in terms of stepping up and relieving all that pressure off of them and, taking them off that job that they work and providing for them.
That's good, brother. That's good. I'm gonna add this. As a sex therapist, a couple things I see, right? Women that take sex off the table or weaponize sex, right? You leave your man stranded with a couple options. I'm either gonna please myself, right? And if I'm pleasing myself, that's connected to me watching pornography. Or you may find a man that likes to frequent the strip clubs. You may find a man that likes to frequent the massage parlors. You may find a man that likes to frequent the online OnlyFans because he has to find a way to get his fix, right? And there's a lot of wives that come into the office that get upset because their husbands have addictions to other things. And I ask them about their sex intimacy, and she say, well, we don't do it, right? Now, I'm not going to blame his addictions on her, but what I'm going to say is if he had a way to release and to connect with you, he would have no other reason to connect outside, right? So that's one thing I would definitely note, especially if you're trying to be faithful, right? If you're in a faith-based relationship, what the Bible say, don't deny each other unless you're spending time with God, right? So to prevent yourself from being tempted by the devil could be outside people. Plus, we got access to social media now. We got access to more people than we ever should have had access to, right? So the minute you get told no inside the home, all it takes is to get rejected a couple of times before you stop asking, right? And you're gonna do as best as you can to stay faithful. You're gonna do as best as you can to not check in on your phone and check in on somebody else. So the more we stay connected to the person that we're sleeping beside every single night, instead of getting to the point where we're no longer, because I have a lot of couples that I work with, they don't even sleep in the same rooms anymore. Mm-hmm. They didn't been 1 to 2 years without sex, and that they blame it on the kids and say, well, we got to make sure the kids are good, but everything becomes the focus on everything outside the relationship and not focused on them. So like a lot of brothers said, sex is the glue. Sex is not just for men, it's for both of us. We both are supposed to receive pleasure. We both are supposed to be connected. We both are supposed to grow in intimacy, right? There's things that a woman's going to need in order to get her car started, and there's things a man's going to need. So the more we pour into each other, the easier it becomes, even if you got to schedule it.
I have a question. So there have been women that I have coached, and I agree there are some that have been sleeping in separate bedrooms or have not had sex between 3 to 7 years. One of the things that they have said is, well, he's married, we're married. He should know not to step outside of the marriage. He is not having, we'll call it dick control. So is that right? Is that wrong? I mean, I know the answer.
That is absolutely wrong.
But is well, I wouldn't even finish with the question. If you're locked into a relationship with us, and I say, you know what, Jermaine, I don't want to have sex anymore. I don't feel like it. We haven't had sex in a year.
Okay.
Is it to me or to you to say, hey, you need to stay inside the marriage, because we got married and it's for better or for worse. This is our worst season. So we just not having sex, and you don't need to have sex with anybody else outside of the home. We know it's wrong to cheat, but is the woman wrong? I'm gonna let Rex answer this first, only because he has the degree in it, and then we're gonna go to everybody else, because we want to get the medical part together first. For the women who say the man needs to stay in the home and we're not giving them none just because we don't feel like it or we're mad or whatever it is. Rex?
Yeah, many of the we're all going to have a universal answer to this, and absolutely, the answer is yes. She's wrong. When you get married, the two become one flesh, right? Your body no longer belongs to you, belongs to him. Same thing for her body no longer belongs to her, belongs to him, right? So with that being the case, taking it off the table and then saying, I'm expecting you to remain faithful. I'm expecting you to still do all the things you already been called to do because I'm your wife. And because we're married, you can't cheat. You can't step outside this relationship. As a counselor, my question is why? Not why should he step out? My question is, why should we not be having intimacy? Right. And I'm going to listen to whatever that reason may be. Is it because there are some medical issues that she's dealing with? Is it because, he's cheated or committed infidelity and she has stress issues? What's the reason behind it? Is it because you are bored with the mechanisms that you guys have been going with? What is it? Is it something that's fixable, or is it something that is going to be a problem for the rest of y'all lives? But if it's something that is just, you don't feel like it because you just don't feel like it, because you've already given your good years to him and you just feel like y'all should be at a place where he should be okay without having any more intimacy, then that right there is very selfish. And it would lead to divorce or infidelity. There's only two options.
Yeah. Dang, Jermaine, you about to come at your skin over there. I see you. Go ahead.
I deal with this all the time. First and foremost, if we're just going to talk about it biblically and legally, first and foremost, a man is going to look at it as false advertisement. You advertised to me that it was going to be monogamous and me and you, and we were going to be able to sleep together. Now you're taking it off the table. Now that we've gotten married and crossed the threshold, it's a breach of contract. The contract says your body is mine, my body is yours, and you're taking that body off the table for whatever your reasons are. So as the gentleman said, there has to be a why, and I'm all for the why. Let's dig and find out the why, because if we can resolve the why, hopefully we can get back on track. But if you are refusing to look at the why, you're going to cause major emotional gap and distance in your relationship. And as he stated, it's only two ways it's going to end, because you're breaching the contract and you're not giving your spouse a suitable reason why you're breaching this contract for an extended period of time. Now, if you did this for a month, maybe 2 months, you were stressed at work, the kids got you stressed. Listen, we can make do. Every man that had a drought season, we can get through. But you talking about a year? Oh yeah, we got to talk.
Oh yeah. Now, like they said, if there's a reasoning why, like if it's for punishment, that's definitely that's a problem. But if it's for health reasons, that's another thing. We can talk through that. I love you enough to let's talk about that. But if it's a health reason, that's what I'm here for. But for it just to be a punishment of I don't want to do this, that's very selfish. That's very selfish, because men, I can't speak for anybody else. I'm handsy. I'm hands-on. That don't mean I want to have sex all day. That just means because you're my woman, I want to touch you. Not always sexual, not always that, but I want to be on you. I want to feel your skin. I want to feel my person's body when we're around each other. That's an intimate thing for me. Now, when you subtract and pull that away from me, my mind starts to wonder now. Why? So all of this stuff can happen, but then it also has to be, I'm real big on communication. If you're not telling me why, I don't understand. But if you're telling me and we're going through this together, we can work through whatever. But the selfishness, some people can't deal with. You have those two options, like Brother said earlier. Those are your two options once you become selfish, because you want to withhold that. So what if I say I want to stop paying the mortgage now? Can I do that?
No.
Okay. So if that's kind of where that goes, because now it's like I'm busting my ass doing what I can for us, and that's the one thing that I desire besides food and air, and I can't have that. Okay, I don't want to do what it is I'm supposed to do now because my tank is empty. I need my person. I need my woman. I need my touch. I need my love. And you want to pull that? No, we can't do that. We function that way.
Yeah, I think think that it opens the door, because in my relationship, and one of the things that I talked about, and this is early in the relationship, I'm talking about early in my relationship, is that every day as a man, biologically, I have an internal war that I am fighting with monogamy. I will be telling a bald-faced lie to tell my woman that that I don't fight with this, and it's not necessarily looking or anything like this, just that I am wired that way, and I'm not one of these people where I'm going to deny my own physiologic, makeup to be in a relationship without addressing the issue that this is real. And so when that woman, if she does that particular thing, you're doing nothing more than opening up the door and simply daring someone, because again, that is a part of the deal. At least in, like I said, in my relationship, I can't speak for anybody else's, that we share this thing together, and almost at a capacity and a volume to where it's like, okay, I'm not that is, that there is no limit, because again, that's what we're entering into. And so for me to stay at home, for me to not to entertain those thoughts sexually, I do need all of you, just being honest. Because again, it, like I said, it takes that away. And what that woman does is that she takes the choice away from a man to be monogamous. She takes that choice away from him. So again, the brother who said it was selfish, you're 100% correct.
Yes.
Did anybody else want to tag on to that? Or y'all, I'll just agree it's selfish, and we need to make sure that we are there for you physically in your time of need.
And let me say this as well, because when we're out, a lot of women have to understand, like brother said, we make our minds wander as well. So when you're pulling away from me at home, you're pushing me somewhere else. That's not where I want to go. That's not what I want to do. So not using that as an excuse, because I'm really not. But if you're pushing, what would you like for me to do? Because you say your initial thing was, well, we did it all. So once we do it and once we're done, I don't remember that no more. That's false. We're going forward now. We thinking about when is the next time. We're thinking about what's going on forward. So once a lot of that is that makes us a lot different, because now we have to even be more stronger, as brother said. Now when I'm not getting it at home, what am I to do now? You just open a door for a lot of stuff that makes it even harder. As a black man, we already get killed when we go outside, and now I have to go home and face this too.
Yeah.
No, I can't do it. I can't. I refuse to do that. No, I can't do it. Can't do it.
Yeah, I don't really have those problems, so I can't say, I can't really say, because I'm going to be honest with you. I mean, I'm going to ask the question why, right? I know over the course of time in any relationship, things kind of get stale, where you have those ebbs and flows where you, in the beginning, you're humping like rabbits, and then all of a sudden the faucet's turned off and you're trying to figure out, okay, what happened, right? So you're trying to figure those things out. I think it's only one other person that's on the panel that's older than I am, and I've watched my drive decline the older as I've gotten, right? So I don't need it as frequent as probably the next man, and I've learned more self-control. So when I'm in a relationship, I'm not going to cheat. I don't have those types of worries, regardless of what the temptation out there. I mean, maybe I'm a unicorn. I just don't have those type of temptations to where I'm going to step out of that relationship. But I would ask the question as to why. Now, I did have a relationship with a young lady back in the day, and she was fighting with some internal stuff in terms of religion wise, and we tried to get those questions answered. But again, you know how they say you could drop a kid off at the fire station, you ain't got to look back. Well, you can go be a monk, and I'll support you. I'll go to your church, and you can do whatever you is going to do. But I'm gonna go over here and do my thing respectfully. See, I did it respectfully. I'll let you. I'll drop you off at a monastery. You could be whatever it is you want to be. I'll support you. I'll go there. But I'm gonna have a bad thing to the right of me. I ain't gonna have those problems.
And it's not what we want either.
You said what?
It's not what we want. It's just we're going off of the information that's coming to us. So once you express that, we want to fix it. We want to do that. We want to do what's right. We want to be with our lady. We want all of that. We're willing to fix it. But to just shut it down and say the kitchen closed, oh, nah, man. I need another chef now.
Yeah. See, I was pushing her towards her purpose. That's what she wanted to be. So she wanted to turn it off. Okay, they got places for that. So we'll just take you over there, let you, be fully clothed from head to toe. And
shave your head and all that good stuff.
Shave your head with a little ponytail in the back, a little struggle tail, and you'll be all right.
Come on.
Last thing I'll say, there's a lot of women, maybe even women on this call, but that understand us because they have high libidos and they don't get to have sex with their husband because their husband don't want to. Right? They may not have the energy to. Their husband may not be attractive. Their husband may just be at that point where he just had impasse and like, you know what, I'm good on it. I come home, everything, my knees getting mad. I don't have to do that. So there are women out there that also struggle in marriages and relationships, and they are begging for intimacy from their partners that they can't get it. So they understand it too. And when they're in that type of relationship, that's when they start having to work husbands. That's when the noise gets loud outside of the crib. So it's not like it's a foreign thing as if they don't understand it, because this thing goes both ways. There's men out there that don't want to have sex, and there's women out there that don't want to have sex, right? But they still want the security of the marriage.
There's also an aspect, because I dealt with this as well. If my ex-husband were alive, I wouldn't actually even be talking about this, to be honest, because, I try to respect him. But there was a time where we went 3 years in the marriage without sex, because he had erectile dysfunction. He didn't want to give up the bad food, and he smoked all the time. And so I had an affair when he went to prison, because by that time it was like I'd had no sex by like 5.5 years. And I was like, I need to be touched. And so, but we ended up divorcing, but we were divorced, like mentally I was gone before he left. But that is true. Like, I'm seeing it and hearing it from my friends. As we get older, we got to, do better, because it's a lot of men the women that I've coached, they're cheating because their person can't have sex. It's not even a want to. They just can't. They can't. So
and,
that's
like that. We as Black men, one of the things, like I said, me and my relationship, we have very, 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 very frank conversations, uncomfortable conversations.
Yes.
And it's that way for a reason. And one of them is health. Because again, 55 years old, and health is across the board one of the more selfish things that anybody can do. And I'm speaking again because I have vices of my own. That you can do is go into a relationship, and or while in that relationship allow your health to decline, because it affects every other aspect of your life. So I would encourage anybody who's watching, for your sex life, get your walk on, do whatever it is, get your heart rate moving. That's all it is. Do these things and to maintain, like you said, the connection that sex does bring. But yeah, it's people out there. I know a couple, they've gone years, and again, it's like one of the greatest misconceptions that people have is that they can have it all. That you can actually maintain a sexless relationship and the security. They don't go together. Eventually, they will stress each other out. And again, you see that a lot of times in relationships. So especially Black people, take care of ourselves.
Yeah, because that's how he passed away. He he had heart disease. So yeah. So we do. I know I'm working on it because I like to eat. I ain't gonna lie. I listen, it's the thing. But anywho, was everybody finished with that? Because I had another question because we almost at the hour. Look at y'all, only asked 3 questions.
That is been fast too. Yeah, I like this. That's good.
So one of the things I told you guys, I've been a coach for a while, and before I'm a relationship coach, I am a purpose coach. So purpose to me is extremely important. I don't feel that you can actually have a really good relationship until you know who you are, who you're called to serve, and your purpose. Like, why are you here? Because that helps you when your mate is finding you or you're choosing your mate or whatever, how they can, undergird you with whatever it is or support you or whatever it is, if you need to be doing something together or just support. And for a while, I started coaching men. It was a little bit after my husband had left. So I was coaching women, but I had started coaching men because they were asking, like, we need some help. And I found what I'm about to ask you guys. I'm about to ask you a question, but I found this out on an accident. I never did it with my husband, but when I started coaching and learning more about myself, I helped men and women with this. So there were times that I started pouring into the men that I was coaching. Hey, whatever the product is, yes, you can do it. Whatever they needed, bouncing ideas off of me, just being there. What I started learning is they all started liking me. But it wasn't that I was just all of this. It was the support that I was given. Because what they later told me was, I don't have anybody to speak into me or help me with, whatever God's purpose is in my life. So it's important. So they started liking me just off of that fact alone. And I was like, okay, then I had to stop coaching men. That was number one. But two, it made me realize, because when I deal with people in my business, I don't eat where I poop. So we always separate those things. But that made me feel like, okay, this is a big thing for men. Like, they need to hear you're doing a good job. They need to hear, how can I help you? What do you need? Like, to lighten the load, even if you're not together. So I'm like, okay, if we're together, I need to be giving him affirmations. So tell me how important that is to you, whether you're in business or not, just in life. How important is it for your woman to speak into you?
It is top two, easily top two. As you get older, when you're younger and you're ambitious and you have your head down and you're just driving the plow, it don't really mean too much because you have that vigor, you have that high testosterone. As you get older, mid-age, 35, 40, 45 plus, it means the world to a man, especially for Black men, because when we walk out of that door, everybody's against us.
Yes, sir.
So when it's time for me to get back home, my safe space, and my lady not only can see that I got beat up, but she doesn't put me down. She knows how to hold me. She knows how to whisper in my ear, it's going to be okay. She knows how to tell me, hey, I know you failed today, but tomorrow's a brand new day. Keep pushing, keep doing all of those things. That type of support, it is so special to a man from the standpoint. Sometimes we feel like failures when things don't work.
Yes.
So for a woman to whisper in your ear or to tell you, I still love you, you're not a failure. You may have failed, but you're not a failure. So I'm still with you. I'm not going to leave you. It not only reassures the man in the work, it reassures the man in the relationship. Been a marital counselor for over 12 years. I can assure you there are a slew of men. One of their biggest fears is failing too long. Because if they fail too long, they do believe their woman is either going to cheat or going to leave.
Right.
I
So
agree
for
with
her
that.
to reassure him, it means everything. Go ahead, fellas.
Toby, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just agreeing with that. Because we're going to fail at something at some point, and how a woman handles our failure is going to be it's going to dictate which way the relationship moves from there. Because if you're only there when it's good, then you're not there for the long run, because you're going to have some peaks and valleys in your relationship. And so I think that a lot of times our failure of a situation is linked to our character.
Mm.
Like something's wrong with you because you failed, not you
Right.
just happen to fail, so and I think that's a hard pill to swallow once we realize, like, hey, well, you look at me in this type of way, and like something's wrong with me because I messed up or made a mistake. And we're like, no, that's not a character flaw, that's just a part of the process of becoming a better leader. It's a part of the growth, and you can help us in that process. So when a woman, she's encouraging and she affirms that we can persevere or overcome whatever this obstacle is, then it helps us to heal faster, to grow faster, to learn faster, and to be better in those situations, so that we can at least minimize some of those failures going forward, and to be better for her. I mean, it all comes back to her in the long run anyway. So all of our success,
So,
all of our
so
successes.
what about y'all? I mean, I and that's the reason I'm doing this, because, and I'm gonna give you guys time to come back. But what about you guys? Like, what about the men? Because it just seems like everything revolves around us. What do you guys want? Like, what is to make you happy? It's almost like your happiness doesn't matter. Like, if we
Well,
happy, y'all happy. But I don't think that's fair. Or is that how we're supposed to be?
no, it's not how it's supposed to be per se, but it is part of it. I mean, we enjoy making our woman happy. I mean, we of course want you to be happy. We can't, and no, if you're with a woman and she's not happy, nobody is. So,
Right.
so it's like, we want you to be happy with us. But ultimately, I think as men, the things that make us happy is our woman and what we grew up with. The things that made us happy when we were children. Video games, sports, competitions, stuff like that. Like, I mean, the most of the stuff that we enjoy when we're adults are just versions of things that we enjoyed when we were children, plus the girls. So it's not that complicated. We're all old kids. That's basically the way I see it. We all old kids. So
Okay.
Yeah, I definitely say I agree to that. Two things: purpose and our person. Purpose in our person. A man that's walking in his purpose. He loves his career. He has a group of guys that he can kick it with, to have some whiskey with, like just to swap it out with. He got a nice little physical routine with his body, so he got his time to get away from the crib to get his mind right. And then when he come home, he got a safe place to land. That's happiness. My lady and I, we just moved into a bigger location, and she was like, "You don't really get out much." I said, "Because I'm good at home." You know, good at home. I love coming home. I don't spend time in my car outside by the garage because I don't like what's going on inside. I can't wait to get in this smell, the aroma of the house, the candles burning, the food is good. My dog already taken care of. My lady got on her little night outfit. I'm looking real nice and good, smelling real good. I'm happy at home. So when I'm able to go out, use my hands to make money, to bring it home, to make sure that the crib is good, because I know that my woman is doing her portion as well, to make sure that I'm good and making sure that she's good as well. Because that's another thing. We because we wear a lot of hats, we also need our woman to have her own thing going on too. Because if we become her everything, or if they become our everything, then our worlds get too engulfed and enmeshed, and then we don't have any individuation. Well, I'm saying the word wrong, but I know y'all know what I'm saying.
Individuality.
There, it is. So, but like I said, just to go back to the happy, that's what makes us happy. And then to the affirmations, right? We all need it, not just men, but think about kids. You tell a kid that they're wrong, that they're ugly, that they're fat. You tell a kid that so many times, that's what they believe. I work with men now that are in their 30s, 40s, and 50s that still believe that inner child, that still believe that bully from when they was 5 years old, that said they would never be good, that said they were always going to be a failure, that said they wasn't ever going to be a good mother or a good father. That inner child still needs to be healed. So just like that little boy he needed to hear, I love you, you're valued, you're worth more than just what you're able to do for people, but for what's in you, that's you know what I'm saying, you have value in you. If I'm hearing that from my wife, I'm good. And I'll give you my last example. For me to get licensed, I had to pass a licensure exam. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist. It's one of the hardest licensing exams you can take. My first time I took it, I studied for 4 weeks. I failed it. The second time I took it, I took it, and then it took a month for me to get my results. My lady was on the phone, and I had my camera recording me because I was about to show my expression of me finally passing this test. I opened up the exam, failed. I did worse than I did the first time. Disappointed. So my lady say, all right, what's the game plan? I know you got more in you. Like, and how can I help you? And I said, well, there is this study program, but it's about $500. I don't really got that. She was like, well, send me the link. Let me check it out. I go to work. I get home and I check my email. There was a confirmation code that the link, it was just purchased. And she was like, this is my investment into you because I believe in you. And I believe in things. And this isn't the thing that's going to stop you. And here I am 2 years later, a big dog almost in the field because of my woman believed in me so much to invest in me. And she constantly pours into me. And when your woman pours into you and she truly believes you, you feel like you can accomplish the world. You feel like you can accomplish anything. And now it's all about reciprocation. Now I'm going to pour into everything that she's doing because it's a generosity war now. So it's a real big thing.
That's good. Oh.
And I could kind of go into all of that too, because it's one of those things that, I could speak for me. I'm one of the most confident people that I know. It doesn't matter. To me, I look good every day. I do all of that. Whatever. I'm confident in everything. But to hear, I'm proud of you, to hear you can do this, that turns me into a big ass teddy bear.
Oh.
Because it's motivation. It does something to you. Again, kind of like the sex part we talked about earlier, it makes you want to do more. It lets you know that she sees me. And the way that I am, even though I am single, I have great female friends. I have great ones who will tell me, you are a good father. Mm-hmm. How often do we hear that? I have a young lady that's a friend of mine. Within knowing her for 3 months, she sent about a 3-page text message about how she listens to me talk about my son. My son is my best friend. My son just turned 21. He's going into a senior year of college. Never been in trouble. She's just told me the relationship you have with your son tells me the kind of man that you are. You know what that does to us? To hear stuff like that? And that's someone who sees me and that I genuinely see as a friend. So
why she won't be your girlfriend, Maurice?
Huh?
Why she won't be your girlfriend, Maurice?
I haven't crossed that line because some stuff is just you don't know. You really don't know. But it's like to hear that though, that does something for you. And like brother just said, it makes the generosity war. And I hope she sees this.
Hey girl.
She purchased something for me for my birthday. Oh, you know what? Your birthday's coming. I purchased something for you. Oh, wait. The big 3 comes to Dallas. Guess what? I bought tickets.
Y'all brown sugar.
But watch this.
What are we doing? Hey,
girl. Y'all brown sugar. Just gonna get together.
Girl.
But I got one more. I said I've never been to a hockey game. 30 minutes later, I get a text message of a like he just said. I get a screenshot of we're going to the Stars home opening game.
Y'all playing. Y'all playing.
So it's like
y'all playing. Y'all playing. Y'all two playing.
It's like one of those, man, to hear something, to watch somebody pour into you. it makes you want to work harder. It makes you want to do more. And it motivates you more than you ladies will ever fucking know. To hear I'm proud of you. To hear you can do it. To see that when he said he just saw that confirmation number, I almost jumped up out of my chair. I know the feeling. So for somebody to pour into you, man, that's one of the best things you can have.
He married
And
her
know that
though,
I'm being
Marcus.
seen from the outside and I'm not trying to be. Oh man, that's it.
She waiting on you and you playing with her.
And,
Girl, hit my inbox. We need to talk because
and
Maurice
just
playing.
Hey,
and
like
just
I said, I'm open. I'm an open book. I have no problems with speaking, but that's just generosity. We thrive off of that. Sometimes it's not what we don't want it. We don't want certain things, but to know that it's being given to us without us asking for it, that makes our day. That makes our life a lot easier because we get beat up. Like everybody said, we get beat up so much when we go out. To even talk on the phone, to see a text, to get whatever, just knowing that somebody has your back, that means much more than anything else.
Yeah.
Seriously, it really does.
Yeah, we at this hour. Did some yeah, Sydney, you raised up. Did you have something?
yeah, just real quick. For one, for women out there, men love simple. The
Yes.
simpler you can keep it, the better. The more complex, the more intricate that it is, we really don't want to deal with that. And this is in any capacity. Number two, when you speak life into us, also let us know where your self-esteem is, because only people who have good self-esteem can genuinely, I mean genuinely, speak life into someone else.
There you go, Sid. Yes, sir.
It's more so a reflection of you. Ray, you spoke. Do your own thing. Women, find your own. Don't get caught up. One thing, I do a whole lot of things. Reagan, I sent you a song. Reagan, I do music. I run a full-time business. I was on TV last Monday. I've been on national television over 30. So everybody, it's imperative, at least for me, have you do your own thing. That way, it also will reflect the joy that you have doing your thing. When I'm in, when I'm sitting in here and I'm making music, or if I'm acting or whatnot, I'm in my zone. I'm in my happy place. So everything from me, if I'm doing that, it emits out. Women have your own thing that man can go and marvel at you and your genius, whatever it is that you think that you might want to do, because that's attractive as well.
Yes.
That's good. I have
Man.
2 more questions. We are over the time, so y'all got to be short. Or we just gonna have to come back. Did y'all want to come back another time?
I'm
I can
open.
be succinct.
I'm
We,
down.
we
I'm
can.
there.
Okay.
It don't
Well,
I
matter
don't
either
want to
way.
but I've only asked like 4 questions,
I'm
but I
there.
do have 4. So I want to talk about divorce. We talked about divorce the last interview, and I'm divorced. I was married for 14 years. Like I said, I loved being a wife. I just married the wrong person. Well, we married the wrong person because it was both of us. I don't want to, put the blame on him. But I knew we were not supposed to get married. I was just in love with the idea of being married because I knew I wanted to be a wife, and we were just kind of there. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, well, he asked me, sure, I want to be a wife. We'll make it work, blah, blah, blah. But I knew I wasn't supposed to be in the marriage. So this question goes to the people who are divorced. Let me see how I can ask this. It was no surprise that we were going to divorce at some point in time. I wasn't thrown off guard. We stayed married as long as we could, but I knew it was inevitable. Okay. When you first got married, did you think it was forever? And when it was time for it to end, did you see the signs? Did you want to leave? Did you want to stay? Like, how did divorce affect you, or did it? Were you happy? Were you sad? Like, what were the emotions? Because I know men tend to not file as often as women. So for those who were married.
I will say this: men don't tend. Reagan, this part of my job. I serve people. I pull up on people's houses. I pull up on the job, and I'm cold hard paperwork, whether it's divorce. And I keep numbers. And actually, I dug this up. I went through of the 26 divorce papers that I have filed, that have served. 22 of them have been initiated by women. And I'm gonna keep it real. I read they give me the paperwork. I read the shit that they do. I'm gonna just keep it one. I, who is the money ain't right. I read the whole shebang bang before I take it in. So I will say that is without a doubt. I'm probably, like I said, the oldest on the group, and I have been married once. And I married so young that honestly I couldn't look actively looking back at it. I couldn't see past tomorrow when I was married. Every day was a struggle. So the inevitability of the breakup of the marriage was on the wall, because again, I didn't have the skills. She didn't have the skills to be married. We didn't have no business being married whatsoever. And from an emotional standpoint, it takes you through everything. I mean, I'm talking about the full gamut. And if you ever love somebody or in a relationship, whatever, whatnot, and y'all split and y'all break up, you begin to see your own flaws or whatever, whatnot. And it wasn't until years later, because again, my youngest daughter is now 21 years old. I got children ranging from 28 to 21 years old. It's not until you look back and say that the relief came in, because if we would have stayed in that situation, we would have utterly destroyed each other.
Mm.
Wow. I could say I am divorced now. In the beginning, it started out, we were actually really good friends, which is weird. We were friends. Um, Got married, and we thought it was forever. But it's kind of one of those things where you grow apart, and I think Cindy said earlier that we had those hard talks within our 6 year marriage, that lay on the couch and cry and sling snot. We had those rough conversations. But in the end, it's like maybe we may be better off as friends and not husband and wife. And that wasn't a problem for each of us. We are still cordial to this very day. Her two kids, they're still my kids. One's 23, one's 18. That's still my daughter and my son. I still talk to them about tickets. I'm at birthdays. I do all of that. My son, the three kids, my son and her two, they're still brother and sister. They still talk to this day. Me and her, we're still cordial. It's no problem. Sometimes you may just outgrow someone, but are you adult enough to say this is not going to work and there's no hard feelings here? And that's what it came down to. So it doesn't always have to end bad, but some people can't understand how you can be that way with someone when they've actually had the rough divorce. Infidelity wasn't a problem. Money was a small issue, but that's pretty much in damn near every relationship. But the part where a lot of relationships fail wasn't what failed with ours. We just may have to be better off as being friends, husband and wife. Not a problem with
As a guy that's been divorced, I'll make it quick. Did we see it forever when we got married? I'd say yes. Um, Things that we discussed prior to the marriage that should have been resolved, and we both said they were resolved, got drug across the threshold and they were unresolved. So they continued to cause issues. Got divorced. You can see the ugly in a person going through a divorce. That's the easiest way I can say it. All the stuff you never thought you would see from that person doing divorce. Um, she's the only woman that's ever had my two kids. I don't have any outside kids outside of my marriage. I've never had any other mamas. We're good. We're friends now. I help her with her business. We raised two kids together. Um, it was just one of those things we had to get through that rough patch of going through the divorce and after the divorce. So the rough patch was probably a good 6 years until we both had to grow up a little bit and finally realize this right now is going to be just about the kids and we can be who we need to be.
And then I think I'll kind of end it on mine. I think when I got married, I went into the marriage in good faith, right? So you want to be able to do everything that you want to be able to provide for your family, and in a sense, when I did everything possibly, I felt like there's and we had a lot of dynamics in terms of layers. Like, I was much younger than she was, so she was literally 10 years older than me. So think about it. I'm 30 at the time, and she's 40. So it's easy to talk about when you kind of first start off in relationships. But so if you want to talk about court, I thought I knew who she was until I saw on the opposite side of the courtroom, and then the true person really came out, and then you kind of see how the laws are stacked against you, and the hand that you're kind of dealt with as it pertains to that. But for me, I came into my marriage in good faith, and then I worked and tried to accumulate everything that I could to provide, and then it just never was good enough. No matter what you did or what you bought or what value you brought to the table, I ultimately couldn't make somebody happy who, like, if I asked her the question, like, give me 3 things that makes you happy, you ask most women that, they don't even know what makes them happy. They can't even answer the question, right? So once we went to counseling, right, and they gave us each individual assignments. They told us what to say, what not to say, questions to avoid. And she would get upset because more often than not, they would give her more homework than me. So it was that competition thing, like, you think you're better than me, and I'm like, no, just because at that time she was coming off of being previously married, so she had a little bit more layers to her life, and plus she'd been on the planet longer than I have, so she had some emotional things that she had to deal with. So in that process, once I found out the real reason why she married me, that was the day that I decided that there's no counselor in hell that can tell me, because he told me, he said, man, just sit back, relax, don't take it personal. But I said, I'm not taking it personal. But what I am is taking my ass up out of here, and this is the end of it, right? And that's exactly what I did. I say, all this information is great. Everything that you're telling me, I'm listening to, I understand it. But I'm going to take that information and go to my next relationship, because this one is done. Because no matter what I pour into it and the work that I'm putting into it, it's a broken vessel. No matter how much effort that I'm going to put into this thing, this woman that you gave me, God, is broken. And I, again, not saying that I didn't have my flaws. I mean, we all do. But I then gave up my happiness because I wasn't happy, right? So I did everything possible that I knew how that I could do to make it happen. It just wasn't good enough. So at the end of the day, like I said, I want to be like Rex, but I see the world for the way it is, not for the way you know what I mean? Like how it is. And I understand the dynamics of the way the laws work and everything like that. And I just try to move accordingly, just because I know at the end of the day, when you get into a marriage, it is a business, right? And I see it differently from when I first was younger, probably right around Rex's age. I see it differently today, and I've grown a lot because I know more about the world and I know the way it works. And so, yeah.
Do you think that has jaded you from getting into another relationship? Like, do you think you'll be married again, or just in a long-term committed relationship? Because I know I want to be married again.
No. I mean, no, I don't think anybody, if you're realistically looking at that, you're ever jaded. I mean, you've got certain things of how you move. You just watch how you navigate the world, and how you navigate people. And I'm saying that is that you have more information to go off of and more experiences that you've grown from, and you just try not to repeat those same mistakes over and over again. So, I mean, I know I may come off and, you may have a situation where I don't need necessarily a woman to tell me, hey, get up, you fall and get up. That'd be great, but I'm just not built like that, right? I don't need it, because more often than not, I'm my biggest critic when it comes to stuff. And I'm I don't need that type of motivation, because I'm always in the lab and I'm always trying to reinvent stuff and things of that nature. And again, it's how we brought up, you sitting up there and she hugging on you. What is that going to do? At the end of the day, you still got to go out there and make it happen, brother. You can sit up there and hug each other until, you her mascara go get on your shirt. But at the end of the day, you still got to go out there and put in the work. So I'm just saying, I'm a little bit more seasoned. And again, I'm probably the second. No, I'm saying, I've been through stuff. I'm the second. But I understand you're gonna say that. But that's because I've been on this planet almost the same time as the oldest person on the panel. So I've seen more, and I know how the world works. So it's going to come off as that, but I expect that though, because you don't understand the experience. Because that's, again, it talks back how things are related. And that's why there's a disconnect between men and women. Because if I tell you about my experiences, you're going to say, oh, he's complaining. Oh, you're jaded. Or no, that's just the reality of the world. If I explain it to you, it's not a handshake and hug type of place. There are places where it's handshakes and hugs, but for the most part, it's seeing the way the world is. And then you'll come across as somebody who may be jaded, but I'm far from jaded. I'm an outgoing person. I love life, but I know what's out there. I know there's potential hazards and dangers. And if I take precaution on that, you can't say, well, you're paranoid. Well, no, I'm not paranoid. I just know what's out there, and I try to prepare myself the best way I can.
Thank you, Andre.
For sure.
I think I had one other question. This is for everybody, and we'll close out. I'm sorry I kept y'all so long. I try to keep this to an hour, but we're at an hour and 20 minutes. What are 3 things that you would tell your younger self now that you've lived life when it comes to dating and relationships? What are 3 things that you would tell your younger self?
3 things.
Ooh. I'll go ahead and start. Don't be in such a rush to bust a nut. That's one of them, right? And be mindful of the people and the influence you have around you. That's the second thing. And then the third thing is be more patient with yourself. Be more patient with yourself, because how it all comes together is I grew up in an environment where everybody was pushing you to have sex, to have wet dreams, to do this, to that. But they don't teach you about what comes after that. They don't teach you about the feelings. They don't teach you about what happens when I can't stop watching this, when I can't stop masturbating. They don't teach you about that stuff. They just show you the pleasure side of things. And then as you become an adult, they don't teach you that the more you chase a nut, right, the less you connect with women. And you start to view them as an object. You view them as something to conquer and not something to love and something to keep and something to cherish, right? And then be mindful of the people that you have around me. Be simple, because if I'm dealing with a hard situation in my relationship, and the very first thing my guy said, man, you should leave her, dog. You ain't got time for that. I'm already learning how to quit versus sitting in something and having a hard conversation or just working through things that could easily be worked out if we just connect. And then to be patient with myself, because I wanted to leave the house. I wanted to have more control. I felt like my parents told me no to a lot of things, and I couldn't wait to leave. And then when I finally jumped off the porch, 17, 18 years old, and I started bumping my head, I couldn't wait to go back home or look for a way to go back home, right? Because life started coming so fast. So, yeah, don't be so rushed to bust a nut. Be mindful of the people that you put around you, and be patient with yourself.
That's good. Anybody else?
Mine would be keep your circle small. Don't lose yourself again. And you know what? The last one is kind of different, but the last one would be cherish your mom more. I lost my mom almost 2 years ago. That's my baby. I never thought I'd live without my mom until the day she was gone. So when you look back in hindsight, that hurts. Never lose yourself again. I lost myself to the point to where I stopped doing what I love to do to please other people. Never will do that again. And just, like just love yourself. I've always loved myself, but just love yourself and just be patient, man. It's rough. Take it one day at a time. That's mine.
Thank you.
I'll go ahead and jump in if y'all don't mind. And they kind of repeat from what the other brothers was saying, what Doc was saying. I hope you don't mind me calling you Doc, and Maurice were saying. One is exercise sexual discipline. Um, I think that uh, of the consequences for not having sexual discipline. Not only, and like I said, Andre was talking. Andre, I feel you. I had a pretty good run. I'm gonna keep it real. I'm in a player Hall of Fame. Retire my jersey. I have had a damn good run, but it wasn't always good. You see what I'm
Right.
saying?
Yeah.
Again, the consequences that come after that. Like I said, I was married once, and I was in a long term relationship. I have 6 children. For some brothers who ain't ready to do that, you create children. You create a financial liability that you cannot handle. Uh, that's one thing. Again, number two will probably be understanding value and worth. People will always go through and they say, "I know my worth. I don't know my worth." Your worth and value are two different things, and once people understand your that they are separate, that your worth is really deep down who you are. Your value is how you relate to other people, and they're two different things. So understand that, and then three, don't listen to them. We were talking earlier about the voices in your head. Your inner child still listens to that. I think it was Kobe said, and I've said it once before. When you're dealing with people now, doing nothing more than dealing with a 3 or 4 year old version of them in an adult body. So that would be what I would tell myself. And, also, number four, let me sneak this in: heal from my own wounds. One of the things that I have gone through, and the reason why I have a woman now is because, again, I had to go through and I had to almost re-indoctrinate myself on my belief system. I had to go through and unlearn everything that I did learn. I had to go through and essentially do the work to be able to get to this position. One of the things I always do, and I'll say this, and Reagan, I said this on your show years ago, is for people to learn your attachment styles. People don't
Yes.
understand. And it's not that you're wanting somebody else to relate to you, but you don't understand how you relate to everybody else in the world. So it's almost impossible if you don't understand and go back and reconstruct or deconstruct to reconstruct who you were, because we all come through trauma. I always say this, and Reagan, we went to the same church for years. That if you live long enough, and Pastor Ross said this one time, if you live long enough, you're going to go through some things that are going to leave an indelible mark on you. It's your responsibility to heal that shit before you take it for somebody else to have to deal with.
True.
I would say these three quick ones. First of all, you are enough.
Yes, sir.
You don't have to prove anything to anybody. You are enough. Just keep your head down, keep doing what you're doing. Number two, I will make it specific and then general. Specific, it would be your parents. In general, your elders. Your parents or your elders were not as far off base as you thought they were. So while you're trying to deconstruct everything that they've taught you, make sure you sit down with the information and keep the good stuff. Everything they said wasn't wrong. There's a
Right.
reason they survived this long.
Great.
And then the third one would be loss is a part of life. And how you handle loss not only affects you, but it affects the people you are connected to. So be very careful how you handle your losses.
Good.
I think for me, I would probably say respect your own boundaries. Um, you can, when you find somebody you really care about, you start to try to compromise a little bit sometimes. And the very thing you think you are trying to give them is what will come back to bite you, because they'll lose respect for the fact that you're not that sturdy as a man if you compromise your boundaries. So I would say that. I would say don't make permanent decisions on temporary emotions. And I would also say to just make sure you understand um, that you can't make everybody happy, and you have to be okay with that. You can't always be the good guy. Sometimes you're just going to have to disappoint some people and be okay with it, because yeah, I mean, it's impossible to make other people happy. I mean, the happiness will have to come from within. So
Yes.
yeah.
Brother Andre?
I didn't want to, just for the sake of redundancy, repeat everything everybody else was saying. For me, I would say the three things is number one, have fun. Oftentimes we're in this rat race where we're just trying to accumulate stuff that at the end of the day we're going to leave to somebody else. We're going to give it all away. So you spend your time working and not really enjoying life. Like, life is to be lived. Life is to be outside and enjoying people and all the things that we kind of miss in. And sometimes we lose focus of that because we're so busy trying to attain stuff that at the end of the day that ain't worth nothing. When you talk about memories and things of that nature, it's not often about money. It's about those things that money can't even buy. So I would say that's number one. Number two is just take risks. Like, don't be a person that so rigid that you're scared to fail because you only have that $1 you're trying to hold on to. Take that risk and know that if God got you, that you're not gonna fail, right? And if you fail, you fall back. You fall down. You get right back up. And then I would say the last thing is trust your instincts. Oftentimes we know what we're doing. We know right from wrong, right? But we still cross those boundaries anyway, right? So for me, that's huge. So that would be the big three for me.
Okay.
Good.
I said this was the last question, but this is the last question for real. Because while y'all were talking, like I had some stuff going on in my head, I was like, okay, this is the last one. Y'all make this quick because it's been an hour and a half. Okay. What are three things that you love about women? And Rex, you just say this about your wife, okay? Because we don't want y'all in no trouble, okay? So not other women. If you got a woman, they talking about you, okay?
Well, I'll go ahead and personalize with my lady. I love her. I love her strength. I love her femininity when tapped into. And it's a twofold thing again to tap into that, as well as personally with her. And I am shouting her out. I love the fact that I can simply talk to her. I told her when we get together, I'm going to tell you I'm sorry more than I love you. We're going to have conversations. It to me in my mind, it's like a long drawn out conversation that never ends. That's all it is that I can talk to.
So she stimulates your mind.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That I got. You have to. Oh hell yeah. Because my mind wanders. I got a quick mind. My mind wanders, and she don't have to be. We're not sitting down breaking down quantum, theories and all that mess and the Pythagorean theorem. But it's to be able to talk to someone comfortably. With it, I can be silly. I can show her my different sides, and that's immeasurable to me.
That's good. I'm gonna go ahead and go. Three things. I love the way she shows up for herself and takes care of herself. She's constantly doing a routine, constantly trying to figure out the proper supplements to put into her body, making sure she's getting her rest, and also making sure that her body just has what it needs. I love her spiritual intimacy with Christ. You know what I'm saying? I'll come home on my lunch breaks and she's at the table with her Bible open, listen to her Bible playing, taking her notes. And then, she has her own prayer list for our relationship, for her life, and for her family. So I love being able to, because I pray a lot for us, but to be able to not pray one day and she take over the prayer is something that I truly, truly value and appreciate. And then how she shows up for me. Right, from an intimacy perspective to investing in me, to believing in me, to asking me what kind of meals you want this week. You know what I'm saying? How how can I, serve you this week, essentially. So the way she shows up for me, that'll be the third thing.
Maurice, you can talk about your non-girlfriend. That's your girlfriend.
If I had 9 girlfriends, I wouldn't be on this show right now. I promise you that. No, I could say, for one, I love the confidence in women because I'm a confident person. Some stuff just exudes from you when you speak without saying a word. When you walk into the room, you light it up and you didn't say nothing. I noticed that. I love the way that a lot of women are with their children because of how I feel about my son. And I would say work ethic. Your work ethic, because you have to want something, and in order to want something, that shows that you're constantly moving, you're constantly doing something. So your work ethic, how you feel about your kids, and just your confidence in yourself.
For me, with my lady, I love the way she takes care of herself. She eats well, she exercises, and she wants to live long, and that inspires me as well to do better. Because I exercise, but my eating habits aren't the greatest. But she inspires me to do better for that. So it's really nice to have somebody that kind of encourages positive habits with you. I admire her femininity. It's um, kept me out of trouble a few times where I wanted to just crash out, but just looking at her and was like, no, I have to take care of you, make sure you're good, and didn't have to say a word. And it's just like, hey, so that is, and I've actually had to tell her that, like, that's admirable how her demeanor can just kind of control the whole room. so I admire that in her, and then also just the way she loves me, the way she takes care of me. So I value that, and but mostly she wants to live a long time, and she takes care of herself, and I think that's very important. So
I would say I like women, or I like the graceful of women. Um, I would say as of late last 10 years, everybody wants to be sexy, everybody wants to be fine, nobody wants to be graceful.
Mm.
And it's a lost quality. Um, Real quickly, most men fell in love with Claire Huxtable not because she was fine, not because she was sexy, not because she wore short clothes, but because she was graceful. She knew how to handle her man. Um, I like women who can change hats. You can be holy as a preacher. I love it. But you also need to be able to have a sense of humor. She need to be able to change that hat. Because I'm going to definitely change my hat. If you can't change hats with me, we're going to be lost. And then the last one would be, I would say the quiet strength. A woman who knows how to check you without disrespecting you, who knows how to get in your face to get you back on your ish, but she's not gonna cuss you out. She ain't gotta raise her voice. She ain't gotta point her finger in your face. But she knows how to collect you without disrespecting you.
Yeah. Mm.
All right, Brother Andre.
Mm.
Wow, I mean these things are touching, man. I'm fighting back the tears with everything that everybody's saying. So yeah, yeah, I'm gonna put that on a Hallmark card for everybody. I like when women let me be a man. You know what that means for me? Let me take the lead and not trying to compete with me. Um, Allowing so if there's, and we talked about this in the beginning when it talks about sports, so allowing, if she knows about sports, cool. If she don't know about sports, cool either. But one thing I don't want is a woman who talks too much about sports, and then I'm not even, that's a whole nother extreme. But I would say that you know, I like someone who's feminine and stays in that feminine. Oftentimes, you in this world that we currently constructed right now, there's a lot of masculinity that's on women for whatever reason, for whatever trauma you want to call it to, or for whatever they'll somehow blame men for whatever that's going on in the world or in their life, right? So we responsible. Either we wasn't in the home, and if we was bad in the home. So like, wait a minute, you a single mom. Well, he left the house, but the kid was underneath your rules. So how is it? Oh, okay. Just tell him that the dad is in the war and everything is fine. Everything should be good. So that's just a little side note. But no, we and then just the last thing I would say is that I want a woman that's comfortable in her own skin. Oftentimes with social media and everything like that, they're always looking to something else and trying to follow a fad or a trend or girl, this week is Birkin bags. Next week is he need to buy you a Mercedes. He ain't no real man if he can't buy you that Benz. He ain't no real man if he can't do this or that. If you ain't got a 5-story house and with an infinity pool in the back, you don't have a real man. So I want someone who's comfortable in their own skin that's not looking to social media and chasing the latest fads to try to compete with what else someone has. Nor am I trying to measure myself against another man and what another man has or what he drives. I stay in my lane and I do me. I'm not looking to the left. I'm not looking to the right. I'm doing what God has called me to do, and I'm following my purpose, and I'm reaping the benefits and the blessings of that, and praising for those who do get their blessings. So that's the path I'm on, and that's what I like for me.
Yay. I wanted to tag into, and this is it. I'm not asking no more questions. I just want to tag into what Andre said at the end. One of the things that God is working with me, like right now, I thought I was like a super submissive type person because I do believe in submission as a woman. But I've quickly realized because I have, my husband or ex-husband passed away in 2017. And then we got divorced shortly before he passed away. So I've been divorced for a while. I've always considered myself submissive and all the things, but I really haven't been because I played a lot of our marriage as taking care of a lot. So I shouldered a lot. And so then I became a single mother for real. So sometimes I get in a space where it's like, okay, when a man wants to help or do whatever it is, it doesn't necessarily have to be financial. It could be carrying my bag, like coming from the grocery store or something. I'm really quick to say I got it. And so what God is starting to work with me on is loosening those reins for when somebody does come in and say, hey, let him get it. You don't always have to shoulder everything. So I believe that part of for me, masculinity, because we've had to handle it so long. But it is something that I'm looking at. And then I'm also, when I'm coaching the women that are single, to say, hey, we're going to have to soften this up because no man wants, if y'all don't feel needed or wanted in a certain capacity, what are you there for? Right. So we're working on it, Andre. Okay, we gonna let you lead. Okay, we want you to lead.
That's what I'm talking about. Just let your boy lead a little bit.
Yeah.
I got you.
But you know what? I'm not mad at that too, and I know I need to learn it because I want to sit in the side seat and chill. I don't want to have to, you know what I'm saying, shoulder everything. So, ladies, I hope you guys wrote everything down. I hope you were listening. I was listening and mentally taking notes. I hope to have these fellas back sooner than later. We'll see. I'm sorry I kept y'all so long. I really, really am. But this was really, really good information. And we're going to go ahead and close out. You guys have a blessed night. This is your girl, Reagan Adams with Dating Instead, Who Killed It, and the Build a Man Workshop. You guys have a good night. Bye.
Peace.
Peace.
Pizza.